Hello, my lovely red mare crew. Here is Florence. Yeah, what do you want? Do you want to scratch and a scratch, or do you just want to hang out? We're looking a bit scruffy. Here's the red mare. What's she doing? Oh, boo boo. Hey, Flo. I wanted to talk to you today about the horse's prefrontal cortex. And it's actually quite a sad and quite a serious subject. And I almost don't want to say it now because this is such a sweet moment. Here we are in the gloaming in our Scottish field. And I've just been in, oh, hello, okay. Hello. I've just been in the woods with the mares and you can feel it's all very peaceful. We're all a bit scruffy, aren't we? Yeah, Flo, be nice. Yeah, be nice. Flo's sometimes a little bit grumpy with the red mare, which is not really allowed, is it? We don't really do red mare grumpiness because she's the queen of everything. So there's a part of me that thinks, don't talk to them about the sad stories. Talk to them, you don't talk to them at all. Just give the loveliness of the sweetness of the and also, as you can hear, I've had quite a long day and I'm a bit goofy, but actually I think I will talk about this while it's in my mind. I was speaking to a friend this morning and she told me a story about somebody who had very proudly reported that her horse had been, as she put it, taking the piss, and that she had, you know, told the horse who was boss and shouted at her and, you know, given him a good telling off and called him names. I don't know, an arse or something. And I'm afraid I wish this wasn't the case, but I do see this quite often. I see it on Facebook pages. I do hear it. And this idea of taking the piss that's quite a complex thought process. So the horse would have to be able to think, oh, there is my human. She is, for some reason, you know, I don't know, annoying me or not coming up to my high standards or whatever it is. So I'm going to do something which really irritates her, because that's kind of what taking the piss means in the horse context. Means, you know, they're galloping when they should be walking, or they're suddenly saying they won't get into the horse box, or they're going backwards down the road instead of forwards, or they'd pass that dustbin 27 times and then suddenly today they wouldn't walk past it. And the feeling is that the horse is somehow plotting to make the human look stupid. That's taking the piss in the horse context. Now, as you can see, are we off? Where are we going? That's quite a lot of thinking. Those are sort of fairly complex ideas. And it's not that horses aren't intelligent. Obviously, the red mare is as brilliant as an Oxford professor. But she doesn't actually have, look, there's my posse. She doesn't have the neurological equipment to have thoughts of that complexity. So the very concept of taking the piss is not biologically or physiologically possible for a horse. You know, it would be like saying a penguin could play the Moonlight Sonata. It's just not a possibility because a penguin doesn't have fingers. So that's the first thing. If you ever fall into that trap, and listen, I anthropomorphize all the time. I try not to do it, but I do. I definitely give her characteristics and thoughts which she couldn't possibly have. I like to think I do it with a sense of awareness and mostly just as humour. But, oops. Oh, what's going on? You two settle. Look, now we've got a visitor. Oh, I was really trying to improve my videos, but apparently that's not happening. But there she goes. But I think awareness of the nature of the horse is really important. I've just found it completely transforms the way I work with them, because it means I don't attribute things to them which they can't possibly be thinking or doing. It means that I try and work with the grain of their natures rather than against them. And it also means that I don't get cross, because I know my horses aren't plotting. She's not plotting to make this video a bit of a mess by going to see who's just arrived in that van. She's just going for a walk. Someone's arrived on her patch. She needs to go and check out who it is. There, look, see? Her head is in the alert position. She needs to make sure that nothing's come to threaten her herd. That's all that is. That's nothing to do with me. So yes, one of the things that really made a difference to me was starting to see the world as much as I possibly could as the horse sees it. And also just not taking everything personally. And clearly, we don't do any shouting in this field, do we? We don't call our horses arses. We don't show them who's boss. I think I've talked about that before. But we don't feel the need to shout. It's not like we have to stop ourselves shouting. We don't feel the need to shout because we know they're not taking the piss. We know that all they're doing is being horses. We know that anything that they do which is undesirable from a human point of view, oh, big yawn, is because we humans haven't done our work properly. Because pretty much everything a horse does, you will have taught it inadvertently or on purpose. We know that when they do things which we wish they didn't do, I don't know, like getting very spooky or bucking or bolting or rearing, they're just trying to tell us something. Normally that they're suffering some kind of anxiety or worry. They don't feel safe. So that's normally what those are. And because of that, I don't shout at them. I say, okay, what do you need from me? Yeah, what do you need from me, Flo? And then we're working in harmony together, and I don't get cross and they don't get freaked out because I'm yelling at them. And so we all win. And that's what I love, is when we all win. I hope that makes sense. Flo's ears. Those are such donkey ears. Good girl. And there we are, two very happy horses.